The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
All right, Bears-Vikings tonight, Monday Night Football. Bears get a lot of primetime games. You know, I know they make these games way in the advance of the season, but they didn't have a good year last year, but they certainly get in primetime quite a bit. Too much, probably.
Brian, think about the way you were talking about this team in August. It was like, Justin Fields, he's the guy. Playoff team, maybe a division winner, if not a wild card team. ESPN and ABC and NBC and CBS, they all had the same thought you did.
Yeah.
You were all wrong. And now we're forced to suffer on a Monday night. Normally they just ruin my Sunday. Now they're going to ruin my Monday.
It's going to be rough. I think so. But I also think there's a weird chance the Bears could win this one, especially after what happened in Detroit with that Lions game.
Where they lost?
If you can't come back from
with
that.
honor.
No, there was
dignity.
There was no honor and no dignity in the way they lost that game. And that's what I mean. If you're not looking in the mirror today, if you play for the Chicago Bears, and you're not looking in the mirror and going like, we got to just win tonight. That's it.
What a select group to target.
That's it. I'm waiting for
Brian's like, hey, I'm talking to anybody who plays for the Bears.
anybody listening that plays for the Bears. If you don't get it together tonight, you should tear up your contract and go back home and do something else.
Why would tonight be any different than any of the other games this season?
Because how they lost the Lions game was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in football.
They've had worse losses this year.
Not like that. Not like that. The way that game ended in the last 30, 40 seconds, just total embarrassment. And every time I think they've hit that peak of that, it got worse. And that was one of the worst things I've ever seen in football.
You'd be a very bad addict because you'd always find a new rock bottom. You never give yourself the chance to get clean because you'd always be like, well, it could get worse.
Yeah, sure.
I gotta dig deeper.
I've got a big chip on my shoulder with, who does the Bears broadcast?
On TV?
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank, actually. I can't think
Okay, so the guy, who does the broadcast. I've had such a chip on my shoulder because, I think it was 3 years ago. It's been a long, big chip. But I used to host all of Alan Robinson's events, okay?
Mm-hmm.
His,
charity events?
Reach for Change Foundation or whatever. Yes. So he used to host those. And one year, I think it was the COVID year because we did it virtual, and we had tons of other players Zoom in, right? And they were like, we want you to interview them. And I'm like, I'm supposed to interview 15 people at once? This is over Zoom. It was a very weird concept. So I was trying to figure out how to do it. And I decided to play a game, what teammate's most likely to come to practice late or have more than one girlfriend or have, we did it. It was real. And it was fun. They were roasting each other. It was fun. So the guy, whatever the sports broadcast, he must have had a ticket to the virtual event. I didn't get to meet people because it was virtual, right? But we had a couple hundred people logged in and bidding and stuff. So the broadcaster, whatever, takes all my quotes, all my questions, all their answers, and plays it, puts it on air, and gave me no credit. He cut my voice out of everything.
Oh, that's good. That's interesting.
He didn't say my name.
Yeah.
He almost acted like it was his interview.
Don't give Brian any ideas.
He took all these snippets, and people are like, you're hilarious. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Huh. That's a pretty good idea.
And he really pissed me off. I was like, because when they first started talking about it, I got all excited, how cool that he heard it and he liked it. And he was like, this was this guy's answer and played audio. This is this guy's answer and played audio. And I'm like, all right, this is my interview.
That's my interview.
Imagine you like to do a case for bands nobody listens to, okay?
On Q101's YouTube channel.
Yes. That's your
new
thing.
episode dropped 13 minutes ago.
Yes, that's your thing, right? Case, because it's his name. It's funny.
It's very cute.
Imagine if somebody took all the answers and completely cut you out. They didn't mention Q101. They didn't mention your name. They used it and it completely benefited them content-wise. You'd be like, wow, you could have just said, they had a host, Kenzie, and then played the whole thing. It would take 4 seconds.
Kenzie, I got bad news for you. There's going to be an edited Shinedown interview on YouTube today. It is just Brian and Shinedown. You're going to be completely taken out of it.
I'm so sick of this.
It's going to be wonderful.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. After being off last week, we came back and opened the show at 6, which you can go to the podcast, by the way, anytime you want. At Q101.com, anywhere you get your podcasts. It's all house there. Make sure you subscribe, review, do all that. But we opened the show today with something we'll probably, if you guys want it, we'll open the show with this after our double feature song. A new mashup for the show. It's, it's Limp Bizkit and Queen.
It's just one track. Your best bet is to stay away, mother. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit. Let it slip, or you'll be leaving with a fat lip.
All right. So we do that every Monday, maybe? We'll want to do that at the beginning of the show at 6. But if you guys, want that added on, it's your show. You can help out there.
I'm all for it. Every morning I want to break stuff. I think that's
It's
a good way to
fun.
start the day.
It's fun. All right, we decided right there, us three, then. It's done. It's going to happen. Every Monday morning here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Just make sure you're at 6. We start at 6. You know?
Maybe that's our new Friday song.
No, we can't change Eminem and Bee Gees out.
Shut the hell up,
Damn,
Case.
I know.
Got it. Good to know.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And remember, tomorrow morning, 7:10, Clash with Kenzie. Night 4 tickets for Q101's Twisted Christmas. That's the Gaslight Anthem and Young the Giant. And that's the finale night. It's going to be incredible. Q101.com has the tickets, but free ones coming tomorrow at 7:10. And then at 8, Black Keys tickets for night 1 with Local H and Alex Sucks. Plus, you'll get a first listen to unreleased tracks from the band themselves. That's at 8 a.m. tomorrow. But Lauren's coming in next. Let's do your takeaways from today's show. Case, the producer, what do you got?
Ivan checked in. He said Brian enjoys looking at penises in the bathroom, but is disgusted by penises on the beach.
Fair.
Yeah, that's a good statement.
It's the lighting.
It's about
You could just see so much of it at the
Lighting
beach.
matters so
Oh,
much.
and the angles.
angles, lighting, filters.
But in the bathroom, not bad.
Oh, the bathroom's fine.
Brian, I'm going to surprise you right now because I'm switching my takeaway.
Oh, boy.
I had one about you, and now I have a different one about you.
Oh, okay, good.
Miguel said, takeaway, Brian was a hot piece of ass at the Eagles game, and Mr. Raccoon Face was not.
That is also a fact. Very factual statement. And finally, from Double Features Mike, Q101, where men take their ferrets out at the beach.
Oh, so true.
Disgusting.
If you miss a moment, you miss a lot. Go to the podcast at Q101.com and anywhere you get your podcasts.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.